Hey guys, this is Tai of Taiko.
And this is Ashley Miller, founder of Koi3.
And this is Series of Conversations. Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast of the week. She's like, yo, Tai.
I swear it's a game every time. We've been doing this for so long, but
You said swear it's a game?
I swear it's a game. Like with you, like I'm like, is she gonna know the episode today?
You know, normally I always have it written down or I have my phone by me. So while we're saying it, I can be like, today is episode. But I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go get my phone. Like, you guys know what episode it is. It's in the title.
No, you know.
But we're back here, the two of us. It's another week and we're moving. We're both, can I announce it? I know it's personal, but we are both fully vaccinated.
We're vaxxed in these streets, okay?
Exactly.
How do you feel like in terms of just doing it?
I feel good. It definitely makes me feel a bit more comfortable doing a bit more things.
Yeah.
And also, you know, being around family, being able to like go out and like, honestly, I'm still like, I'll say I'm still in the hesitant bunch of actually fully immersing myself into larger groups or,
for sure.
You know, going into like the gym right now. They're allowing people to work out without masks. And I'm like, no, listen. The other thing too, I feel like the mask also gives me an extra like.
It's an extra coverage. It's a double for the double.
Listen, and I don't think not saying I'm at that level, but I don't think I'm gonna be part of those vaccinated people.
I mean, I even said it like when I finally decided, because I was real against it. I was like, y'all got the chip that y'all trying to put in my body, or this potion of the motion. I don't know what it is. Y'all done concocted something in 1 year and now you want to put it in my body. I was like, no. But, you know, being in Miami, they're very open here. I will say, I have to give Miami some of their credit, though, because at least where I live, people are still in the stores wearing their masks and even walking. Nice. I had to walk to CVS today and there's people still with masks. So I'm glad that people are taking the precautions for themselves.
Yeah.
Still, or whatever. But, you know, I was just thinking about just traveling for clients and things of that nature. I didn't want to, so they say you can, obviously you could still get sick, but it's not as much. So I took the precaution. But your girl was nervous. I was nervous. The first one, I was so scared. I went and did it in Orlando and stayed by my mom's house. I packed more clothes for the chills and the fever than I did to just stay in there because I was scared. But God, He know I will show out. So I guess He decided to spare me with the side effects on both shots.
Oh my gosh.
Because I would not. But you know, like I tell everybody, we talked about this before. I never want people to feel. I think now people are like, "Are you back? Are you back?"
Yeah.
Like I never. Everybody's decision is their decision.
Exactly.
Honestly, I'm scared. Come December, they might recall all of them, child.
Listen,
like we don't know what happened.
What are we gonna do? Return the whole body.
Return the whole body.
But listen, no, the one thing, because I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I'm like, you know, getting vaccinated is definitely a personal decision. And people should not feel forced, you know, definitely read the information. I chose to get vaccinated for personal reasons as well as, you know, health concerns, all these other things.
Yeah.
But it is true. It's a very personal journey, and people want to get vaccinated or not, they shouldn't be judged, but definitely just keep your mask on, because we did it for a year. Just keep your freaking mask on.
Yeah, and still to this day, I got masks all over the place. Masks in my house, masks in my car. Like I'm not gonna stop doing those things, especially because clearly our government, I don't know what they're doing. So you stay, you have your precaution, whatever, and you just keep it moving. So
exactly.
We did it. You know, we still alive here to talk about it. So praise God. Thank you.
We're alive. And we look good. But we are going to actually just go right into the topic, since it is kind of like, you know, vaccines, health related.
It kind of transfers in the same way of the healthy lifestyle, you know.
Perfect. That was good. But it definitely ties in, and we're just going to go right into it. So today's topic of conversation is the healthy intake. And this was definitely like came up kind of like, Ashley and I, whenever we're trying to plan a podcast, we definitely do our conversations ahead of time because we prepare for you guys. Like we really do. And
here.
exactly, like we are not, exactly, dedication, hard work, all that. But so right before we had planned this, I think I was in the shower. Not that I think about Ashley in the shower, but I was in the shower and I was actually thinking of podcast ideas we could do, but also this journey that Ashley is probably going to talk about later in the podcast. And I was just thinking about it and I was just like, wow, like this is so surprising because a year ago, I don't think we would have been in this same, I don't want to say in these shoes in terms of taking different kind of health moves or changes in our life.
Mindset for sure.
Exactly. And we came up with the word healthy, and we came up with this word to talk about in regards to our own personal journeys and to regards to our healthy intake of what we take into our bodies, what are we doing in order to stay healthy. And of course, like this podcast is going to be very interesting. So I hope you guys listen. But Ashley is going to go into her personal healthy story, and then I'm going to go in mine. But we hope you enjoy.
Yeah, so definitely I love, and me and Tai said we'll kind of probably do this sporadically where we take one word that's just, I think that we all talk about in our lives. So whether it's fear, faith, whatever, today is healthy, and talk about like how it relates and transitions into who we are and what we're doing. And for me, my story is really around just holistic health in itself. I think that I definitely, obviously, have been more keen to a holistic health when I decided to take a leap of faith and move to New York and kind of do what I wanted to do for myself, coming from graduating with my bachelor's, graduating with my master's, thinking I was going to, just work at the family business and that was it. When I got there and was just really in it, I was like, I want to be here and support and I want to continue to help the business grow, but I got to do stuff for myself. And, my therapist helped me to navigate through that and see what that looked like. And so I've been on that journey through my life because being in New York, let me tell you, I was shocked. The places that I was in, the things that I did, because I took a leap of listening to within and doing what I felt was needed. And that's why I even created Koi 3 to help people to understand what they're doing and, living authentically with themselves. And so that's transitioned through, especially the 7 years of my life living in New York and now of doing different things that really make me happy, make me feel healthy, make me feel like I'm at my strongest. And most recently this year, I actually did 2 fasts, child. Not one, but 2. Like, okay. I'm like, God, you must be showing out because the way I just feel called to do these fasts,
And fasts are hard. I'll be sure.
They're hard. They're hard. So like me and Tai have talked about before where we did the no alcohol fast for Lent about what? That was like 2 years ago, right?
That was like 2 years ago. Yeah.
And it was amazing to have the support of one another because that was obviously in the time.
In-person support, mind you.
Yes, in-person support. And we had like the time pre-COVID. So we're always out. We always doing stuff. So we had a whole series of conversations event during then where we're prone to have a little drink to loosen us up, loosen everybody up so they talk, and we decided not to. And it was amazing to see our growth in that time. And so in this time of the, I don't want to say post-pandemic because we're still going through it, but in this time of trying to navigate into what is the new normal and how we're going to work in this, I have been just trying to find my way. And so I've been called to do some fasts. So the first fast that I did was in March and I did no alcohol again. And it really brought the strength of me to be able to go out because, Miami, people was outside.
It's out.
To go to these networking events, to go to places and meeting people and not having like that comfort of alcohol or at least a drink in your hand. I switched it to, a good little mocktail. Your girl got cute mocktails and stuff. But it was really, I did it not this time necessarily because I just didn't want to drink, but because I know what it feels like to wake up
Yeah.
and not feel groggy, not feel,
Mm-hmm.
the sugar content and alcohol and all of that.
Sugar is high.
Yes, it can
Mm-hmm.
weigh you down, all of that. So coming out of that, your girl was like exercising, meeting people, connecting
Yeah.
for work. Like these
Mm-hmm.
fasts are more than just like lose weight and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. It's the healthy intake of who you are as a person and being at
Exactly.
your optimal level. And
Mm-hmm.
so feeling that, me and my family actually, I was watching this podcast on
Yeah.
Netflix. I mean, I'm sorry, I was watching this show on
Watching a
Netflix.
podcast. I was
I know.
like,
I was like, because I
you
watch
can
a
watch
lot
our
of like
podcast.
storytelling stuff. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's called podcast. But on Netflix, it was called The Game Changers, and it was talking about
Mm-hmm.
Olympians and how a lot of them do not surprisingly eat meat. Like,
Mm.
we're always thinking athletes, protein, meat,
Yeah.
very meat based, but there's some that have broken records
Mm.
without even eating meat. And they had this test, and they had like someone eat like a bean burrito, like
Yeah.
a regular burrito, and then someone eat like a burrito with like chicken in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they tested the plasma, and the
Mm.
plasma was like cloudy for the chicken in one
Mm.
meal, cloudy
Yeah.
in the chicken, and then like clearer in the vegetarian option. So me, ironically, my dad had watched it and I had watched
Mm-hmm.
it, didn't even get through the whole thing. Same with him. And we talked about going vegetarian for a month. And then my
Mm-hmm.
sister joined in. She decided she wanted to do it. So this
Mm-hmm.
month of May, we've been vegetarian. And I will say, guys, to be able to do it, I thought I wasn't gonna be able, because your girl loved the jerk
Mm-hmm.
chicken. She loved the
So
oxtails. She okay,
it's tough.
it's tough, but it has been so, it opened my eyes to so many things. One,
Mm-hmm.
being more creative in the way that I cook and what I'm
Yeah.
eating, because I don't just resort to meat. So,
Mm-hmm.
how do I make a meal heartier and fulfilling without going to meat? But
Mm-hmm.
also, just like feeling a little bit lighter, not as
Yeah.
bloated. And because they do
Mm.
say you can eat a lot of carbs when you're vegetarian. So, I try to be like
Okay,
really
limit that.
like better with the vegetables and the
Mm-hmm.
seasonings. Like the seasonings
Girl.
will help you out.
Exactly.
And now doing it, all of these things are for a reason, and it goes back to what you were saying, Ty, of the healthy
Mm-hmm.
intake. It's doing things that really get you at your best. And I think as I get older too, I'm really more interested in how can I be able to
Mm-hmm.
operate in a space, whether it is mentally, whether it's spiritually, whether it is physically, at a level that I feel that I deserve. Not just that I'm supposed to be because society says, not because I'm supposed to
Yeah.
be skinny or I'm supposed to be, energy for days, but because I deserve it and I want it. And so
Mm-hmm.
I've been loving the journey of like taking times. The child, we might have to fast the social
Girl.
media soon for the mental,
That's
the
yeah.
healthy intake of doing things in doses that are healthy to you. So
That's yeah. And I was gonna actually ask you a question before we transition to my story, but how do you feel like what do you let me go back. What do you think was like the turning point in order to kind of get you on this path of like this like more healthier intake of like basically like okay, last year you decided to, you know, do the limit like no alcohol like
mhm.
because I know some people see like things on TikTok or Instagram and they're like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do this 14-day challenge and reduce what I'm, you know, taking in. Like what was the taking the transition point for you to get
To be very personal and like transparent about it,
mm-hmm.
I and I'm trying to use different words because my therapist has been helping me to not
Mm-hmm.
attach the anxiety to like me,
Yeah,
it's just something that
I've
happens
heard that
in my
before.
life sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that it can be very overwhelming. And I
Mm-hmm.
found that when I stay on a path of, and everything's not perfect, but when I stay on consistency of stuff like meditation,
Mm-hmm.
exercise, certain intakes like in they have said that alcohol and anxiety can kind of
Mhm.
like, it can heighten anxiety.
Mhm.
Um, things like that. Obviously, you want to feel good in
Yeah.
what you wear and how you look and all of that stuff, but also just how you feel physically.
Mhm.
I've found that that is going to help me to propel in different
Mm.
areas of my life. So people sometimes forget that your healthy lifestyle
Yep.
transitions into your healthy career and your
Yeah.
monetary. You want certain things in
Mhm.
your life. Well, if you can't even get out of bed and not feel like you want to get up to do the work, how you
Yeah.
gonna get to the levels that you want, or
That's true.
those types of stuff. And I think that the pandemic really helped me. My move to New York, it has not
Mhm.
been the easiest leaving a what was kind of comfort of a career that I just knew. I knew the people,
Mhm.
I knew the steps of what I was doing, to branch out into even changing the way I'm doing my career. I had to dig deeper.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh, just nonstop working and
Mhm.
nah, you got to tap into something else in order to
Mhm.
level up and get to a new, wherever season in your
I
life.
like that. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you so much for being so transparent. And I really like that whole kind of changing the word of, because I've heard that before. Sometimes like when I say certain things about myself, I try to change the word to kind of just to kind of get myself away from thinking in that kind of mindset. So
Yeah, I know
it's
that healthy. They say the self talk. We don't realize how much
mm,
the self talk. So it's like, don't
hmm
attach yourself. Like, I'm not gonna say. I try not to say anymore. My anxiety, because I don't
yeah,
want
it's
that.
not
That ain't mine.
listen, exactly. It's like that's not my kid.
That's
Don't
not mine. That's
it's
not,
not, definitely take it away from
not
you.
about you, Ty.
Exactly. So let me loosen up. For me, it has been, and I've always been on this, like in terms of health kick. I've always been on this health kick where I'm always doing like the 14-day challenges or this Chloe Ting workout, or let me see, just even I think at one point I was trying to do the yoga thing with you. And the thing about it, I will be in for like 2-3 days. On the fourth day, I'm like, you know what, I'm tired. Bye. And I've definitely done that a lot of times. But I think this year, with with what we've been through for the past 2 years, I've been able to kind of like have my life on pause and actually make time for really what I really want.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because I could even start with the one thing that was something that I had to schedule into my life that I eventually learned that, like, when you create time and you make a pattern of it, it would just be consistent. So it was prayer. And I used to have prayer on my calendar, and
Mhm.
it would come on my like calendar slash, and I may like make an alarm at around like I think it was like 6:30, and it would happen every day. And I would wake up, I'll see it, I'll either pray or go back to sleep.
Mhm.
And it got to the point that I was like, I'm gonna remove that, and I started like just having it come up, like just start just not come up, but like what is it mentally? I'll just mentally just
Oh,
wake up and know that yeah, this is what you instantly have to do. And I would say that's how it started with prayer and then other things. I was telling Ashley about Noom, this app called Noom that kind of has like a psychology based approach in regards to like having a healthier lifestyle. And guys, it costs money. I'm being honest. I'm not sponsored by them. It costs money. But when I was trying to do it, I was also in a stage of, I think I was starting to get overwhelmed with all these little challenges that people were doing, having not really being as pleased with my shape or my body anymore, and just kind of being like, oh my gosh, I gained that quarantine weight. I want to lose it and so fast, but not thinking about everything else around that I was doing. So just a quick insight into what I was doing. When I say I love cooking, but I enjoy cooking. Cooking is very therapeutic for me. And at that time, like before I started like, being more mindful in what I was taking in, what I was eating, because also I haven't been drinking as well, but I think throughout the whole pandemic, I've just reduced how much I drink in general. And
we ain't
the
doing them
food,
brunches.
girl, the brunches, the snacks, all that. But the food I was taking in was so much. And in terms of, I think this is where I started learning more about the caloric deficit and like the caloric intake. And I was taking in like 4 French toast piece of breads in the morning. I'll have at least like some bacon. The air fryer made everything much easier. So, I'll be doing 3 things at once. And I will at least have that like 2 to 3 times a week. I'll have breakfast every day, which is fine. but the amount of food I was taking in was a lot. And it was more to the point that I would wake up and I would be like, I have to eat. And before I even start my day, of course, you know, get ready for work, take a shower, and I wasn't going to the gym, mind you. And I felt like I was really praising food at that time. I wasn't even looking at what I was eating. Was it healthy for me? I was just like, whatever tastes good in my mouth is gonna go in there. And I was doing that. And after like even going through this process with Noom, I realized that like it's not really the weight that I want to lose. It's just I really want to have that more healthier relationship with the food that I'm taking in. And like of course the app helps, but I've just been doing it overall. Even when I go to restaurants, it's like I'm looking like, oh my gosh, okay. Like if they don't even have the calories on the paper, it's not really like a calorie obsessive order disorder that I have, but it's more of a like I actually need to take in the healthier stuff because long term this stuff is not going to be good for my body. So I'll be at a restaurant. I'm like, should I get the salmon or should I get the oxtail? And you know, that's a hard decision.
Very much so.
That is a truly hard decision. Or even like the two drink Thai. Of course, I know I could only handle 2 drinks.
I love that.
But the other thing too is those calories. When Ashley was saying the sugar, the calories is so much, and the sugar is so much, and it's not good for our body long term. So for me, my healthy story has just kind of revolved around me eating better, not really focused on the looking better, because I feel like we all look good regardless of our shape and sizes we are, regardless of how the way social media, because definitely, I'm not gonna lie, social media could definitely put you in a stunt or stump, I don't even know what to say, but in regards to how you feel about your body. And like it was, there's a lot of personal girl talk that I could to go into, but it made me feel a lot. But the way I feel now and my relationship with food has definitely made me feel better. My relationship with water, like even when I have a glass of like cranberry juice, I'm like, how much calories? Okay, how much sugar? I'm like, okay, if I have 1 cup today, that means no dessert tonight. And that's hard.
Yeah, girl.
At the same time, it's I like the way that I'm moving. So yeah.
No, I love that. And I mean, I get you with the counting the calories and stuff like that, because it can be overwhelming too. And it's good to be able to be like, no, I just want to be healthy, whatever that looks like. It doesn't matter the size. It doesn't matter as long as you feel good. That's why for me, I don't need no scale. I don't want to know every single pound lost in what. I just
Girl,
want to, if my jeans is fitting me the way I want to,
that is
praise
true.
God. Like
That
if
is
my shirt
true.
fitting me the way that, praise God. Because when you get overwhelmed with the little intricate detail, that's gonna stress you out.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, Noom makes you weigh yourself every single day. But I'm not gonna lie, the first 2 weeks, so for me, and this is just listen, we should not be talking about the freaking app. But for me, when I started weighing myself for the first 2 days, and this is like for the first week or whatever, I was so upset because all you see is like scale up and down. And then even when I added this weave to my hair, of course, the scale went up like 4 pounds. I was like, what the hell? I was like, you know what? But I still do it. But I think stepping away, but listen, the jeans are fitting right. It's all right.
Right. That's the thing. The jeans and the shirts fitting right.
Exactly.
And don't even let me get into that, because this is TMI, y'all, but I don't care, whatever. Jeans can be fit right, but also the shapewear that you wear, especially women, child,
listen.
open your minds to a possibility. Like,
listen.
So do not. It's about feeling good, because there's always.
That wasn't TMI. What I was gonna say from before was gonna be a lot.
Like, I'll tell you, I like, and this is me. I'm top heavy. So for a while, I would never wear like shirts like this, because I'm like, I ain't got the right bra, and then I have to wear my regular bra, and then the strap is down here cutting me in the side and whatever. But I finally, like, took the time. I was like, give yourself the same attention that you would give to your clients, because you can find the perfect undergarments for them. Make sure that they feel comfortable in their clothes. I went and I researched a strapless bra, baby girl, changed lives. I was like,
I'm gonna need that bra.
I want that shirt. I want that shirt. Like, so that's why I say it really goes back to everything we're saying about a holistic type of life. You talking about it's not even just about the food you're eating, but the spiritual connection that you're doing.
Exactly.
And those types of things. it just brings you to a level where it's the glass is half full instead of
Mm-hmm.
half empty. And
Yes.
I think when we look at life like that, you know, I find myself, so now I do prayer in the shower because you know you got to shower every
Mm-hmm.
day. So you
Of course, you can't
guarantee,
forget.
yeah, so you guarantee that you're gonna pray every day. And sometimes I could get in the shower and I'll be like, oh, I have to start my day, I have to do this, I
Oh
have to
my
do
gosh.
that. And I like have to, nah,
Come.
girl,
Mm-hmm.
let's flip it. You up, you about to
Come
go
on.
do this, like you breathing. And
Mm-hmm.
it really does help you to switch it.
Yeah,
So
no, I really like that. I really like that. But let's transition into this last section of the
yeah,
podcast. So it's definitely, we called it analyzing your how to, and basically how to analyze your healthy intake. And Ashley and I came up with 3 points. So I'll share the first one. Be aware of yourself and how you treat yourself holistically. Ashley definitely went into her personal journey in regards to that. But I think one way that we, even thought about is like the way you talk to yourself, and definitely also obsessions and over those kind of things. And just kind of be aware of yourself and just kind of watch everything you do. Like I kind of went into like my relationship with food. And before I didn't think it was bad. I was like, oh, girl know how to cook. She fine. But it was more like, oh, I noticed I'm eating a lot of bread, or I'm not really having that much veggies, or I'm not even drinking that much water, or I'm having too much alcohol, or just, just being aware of yourself. And even noticing like, I'm only talking about food because that's been my personal experience, but like noticing what your comfort is, things that you always go to. I've definitely in the past have always gone to cookies. I'm like, why am I always going to cookies? And noticing damn well I'm not even hungry. I just want something sweet in my mouth. So, I like a real
back
thing.
though. Is that
But yeah, do you want to go into the second one, or you want
yeah.
to add? Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely everything you say. Holistically, I say this, and the reason why I push the brand so much, even though we're kind of in a revamp, is because it
Mm-hmm.
truly is true. Like Koi 3 is about the symbolism of three, which is all about holistic living and
Mm-hmm.
just self representation of yourself, self expression, and just
Mm-hmm.
the things that you manifest because you truly tap into yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
it's important to see your health intake in a way that is not just about calories, food, weight loss. It's
Mm-hmm.
about so much more. You have to add the mental in there, you have to add the
Yeah.
spiritual in there to be able to push yourself. So definitely
Mm-hmm.
holistically. And then so the second one is support system, finding them
Mm-hmm.
in different ways. And me and
Yeah.
Ty were talking about this. I know that some people, especially, they'll be like, well, I ain't got no friends, or I ain't got no friends like that, or I can't talk to my
Yeah.
friends like that. Friends are not just it. Family is not
Mm-hmm.
just it. There's support groups out there you can Google that you can go to for different
Mm-hmm.
interests that can help you. I say, like, we wrote down, we were like, your journal can be your support
Yes.
system, being able to write your thoughts out. You know, my therapist is my support system because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I don't want to talk to my friends and my family about stuff. I feel like I'm bothering them, or I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like a broken record. And she
Mm-hmm.
is there to help me to kind of go through what is in my mind, getting it out and analyzing it in a way that's healthy, you know. And then
Mm-hmm.
definitely the diversity of apps. Like
Yeah, there's
the
so many.
way that Ty just talked about this app that she's on, you know,
Mm-hmm.
whether paid or free, there's
Yep.
things that I use as my support system. Since the pandemic, I know a lot of us have dealt with insomnia and
Mm-hmm.
not being able to sleep. I have this app, the Insight Timer, that I use
Mm.
every single night because it's like my mind is still racing and I'll be thinking about
Yeah.
a whole bunch of stuff when I sleep. I literally, they have like bedtime stories on there, nothing
Is it
crazy.
free?
Like, yeah, it's free.
I used to use Calm and I almost paid for it because they turned
No,
all their stuff to paid.
oh no, look,
That's really good.
Insight Timer is amazing, and
Okay.
they like I use their stories. They're like the white noise, like
Mm-hmm.
rainfalls and all that stuff. And this is a daily night support system for
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? So definitely look at the different options in which, and be diverse and be open. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
fun to be creative with it. Like literally
Yeah.
through this time, I mean, the paintings that you see, you can't see all
Mm-hmm.
of them, but like this
Ooh.
is, yeah, like I know
Got a
I never
whole
show all the way up there. All of
yeah.
these I made. I made all of those except like that one. That one came from
Okay.
Target. But
You
like
have
all of
so
those
mhm.
canvas paintings I made.
listen, people, watch the YouTube video so you can actually
Yeah.
see where Ashley's pointing at, because she
I
gets so close to
forgot. I
the camera.
forgot. Yeah.
I love
But
it though.
those are things that support me. Like for others, it might be like, why she got high all the time in the background? But that was a time when I really just needed to speak to myself, and I liked it. And I cut out some sponges. I made the
I
words.
like
I
that.
put them on there, and it was therapeutic for me. I just started doing this crochet type thing or
Interesting.
needlework, and
Yeah.
it's like these are all the different elements in your life that support you to help
Yeah.
you to grow, to help you to release stress, to help you to just feel connected. And then let's not even talk about, I think I said this to you, child. Sarah Jakes Roberts is my best friend, and she don't even know that. We already know I love her father, TD Jakes.
Yeah.
I mean, I listen to I Am Athlete. That podcast is really cool. I listen to Inky Johnson.
You have a lot of
I listen to a
solutions.
lot of different podcasts that keep me going in the times when I can't find the energy,
Yeah.
listening to other people's stories, listening to ways that people may deal with self-esteem, imposter syndrome, anxiety. All of that is your support. It does not have to be a physical talking to a friend,
Exactly.
family member. Honestly, these are the best support systems when you have a variety of stuff, because you're not depending on one person
Yep.
or one group of people to help you to get through whatever's happening in life.
Exactly. No, I'm so glad you kind of went into that, because even for me sometimes, like, it's so funny because now I appreciate, like, especially when I get overworked. Ty gets angry sometimes. And then when I get in those spaces, sometimes I just need pure silence.
Yeah.
And when I tell you that pure silence is like a game changer in my life, it's so funny because in the past I would hop on the phone and vent to the other person, but not really thinking like, what is that person going through? I think that's something the pandemic has allowed me to think of, because it's like, yo, this person might be going through something as well. So let me just see if I could work this out by myself and figure it out. But definitely, like, you diversifying your support system and just going through many avenues. But the last one is be open-minded. And I love this because it's sometimes like, we could definitely we could all stay limited in the amount of things that we do, our routines, who we talk to, what we eat. It's totally fine to be open-minded and just let a lot of things change in your life. This is another space where we kind of said, just to diversify your life. It's fine to change things. It's fine to change your gym workout. It's fine to change your hair sometimes. And it's just fine. And I think just be open-minded. I feel like I'm a very open-minded person, so sometimes it's not difficult for me, but there is a lot of people that go through things where they're like, oh, should I try this? And they have that battle or that like conflict with trying it. And it's just like, you considered it. That's the first step. Now actually go into it and try it and see if you like it. So
Yeah,
that's
I
yeah.
definitely agree with you. It's that diversifying yourself just in general, what you're into, interests, career. I mean, even with me now coming down here, I'm not only working as a stylist anymore. I'm actually like, I've taken on my dad's we have contracts with colleges for like hood cleaning for kitchens. I'm working as like one of his project managers for Exceptional Granite for our other family business. I'm also doing things with digitally wise for Koi 3.
Yeah.
Like I think especially people who have so much like creatives and stuff like that, but just people in general, we all have interests that lie outside of career wise. And when we start to tap into those things, I think we'll see the beauty of life and so much more. When you focus on one thing or you're one dimensional, you
Yeah.
will feel suffocated. You will feel
Exactly.
like there's no growth or nothing to do in your life. Like if you have the ability to go to a park, go to the park.
Yeah.
You have the ability to walk and go to the water, go to the water. Whatever the things that you need to do. Watching Netflix. I saw something the other day and I needed it for my own self. You watching that Netflix show does not mean now you have failed in life and you're not getting the things you need to get done. Like sometimes you need to watch that Netflix show.
Listen.
So those are all of the things. I think if the pandemic hasn't taught us anything, it's taught us to know that life is so much more outside of just our carear.
Yeah.
So it's like living is important.
Exactly.
And the way you do it and the way you take care of yourself. So healthy intake.
Exactly.
Literally, I'll wrap it up with that.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, the intake of your healthy lifestyle, and it does not mean kale and yoga and meditation.
It's
All
true.
of those are great,
Mm-hmm.
and they can come into play for those who want them. But it's
Mm-hmm.
really tapping into that holistic live by three, your mind, body, and spirit, and
Mm-hmm.
really being able to do the things that work for you. That is when you're going to
Mm-hmm.
see you manifest the growth of the different things that you have. You got that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'll be literal. These are not always everything we want, but I'll start with I pray all the time for strength, wisdom, and peace and
Mm-hmm.
happiness. Like that in itself is big. But then when you want to get into the certain types of houses and the cars and
The
the lavish
details of things.
vacations and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
just know it starts with a fundamental of how you're treating yourself and
Yeah.
what you are ingesting and really doing to keep yourself going. And then
Yeah.
you can get to those things. So
Listen.
check
Yep.
out the healthy intake, y'all.
Exactly. Well, create your own healthy intake. That's what I
Yeah.
think we have to end on. But thank you guys for listening to today's podcast. You know, we are hoping that we have a guest on our next one. But if you guys want to stay in touch with us, you can follow us at Series of Conversations on Instagram. You can also watch our YouTube channel. We are visual people now. You can see our beautiful faces.
Yeah.
Watch us on YouTube, search Series of Conversations, and you can follow me at Taikem, Taikem.
And then you can follow me at Ashley Michelle Miller. And then, of course, follow Koi3 at KOI_THREE.
And this is
Series of Conversations.
Conversations.